Okay, so this video will be about player prefs, a general overview. Um, okay, so first some background. So when I first started with player prefs, I watched a lot of videos and looked at a lot of the documentation in Unity, but it was all very vague and hard to understand. So I decided to do a video on player prefs. So first, let's start by going over our Unity project. So our Unity project, in the hierarchy, we have a canvas with some text. Down here in the corner, you can see that it just says new text, and this canvas has a player prefs example script and a player pref loader script. I also have a delete all keys script, which means it deletes all the player prefs, and we will go over these in a second. Okay, so that's in test 0. That's our scene, test 0. Then we also have the scene, test 1. And on this one, there's only a player pref loader script, and it's hooked to the... we'll go over that in a second. Okay, so now that we've looked over that, it's time to work on some of the coding. So, right now, we have something here. It is a public class delete all keys. So we have our start method, that doesn't do anything, and then our update, which says if input.get key code down on D, player prefs.delete all. Simple. Deletes all the player prefs. Alright, now let's look at player prefs example script. So basically when we press F, it sets a string text x equal to spam and eggs, and then player pref loader, it sets the text in a player. It sets a variable old text box to our player prefs.get string text. Okay, so you don't have to understand all this quite yet. We're just going over that. So now you've seen all the scripts. Now let's go back and see how it functions. So let's look at this. So we'll go back to test 0, which is our main scene, and we'll start it. And it says all compiler errors have to be fixed. Only delete all keys error. Only assignment, call, increment, decrement, and new objects can be used as a statement. Oh. Okay, so it looks like we had a bit of a problem. Let me show it to you real quick. Basically, I forgot to add parentheses. That is probably the most embarrassing mistake any programmer ever made. But now we are back. So let's work on this again. And back here, we have our new text, and you can see it says spam and eggs. Now, I'm just going to delete this by pressing the D key. And sometimes this doesn't work. But, D. Oh. Okay, so take note of this. Something that a lot of people actually forget, or at least I do a lot, is they write their script and forget to put it on in their hierarchy. So remember to do that. Okay, so delete all keys script. Now it'll work. I am sorry for the delay. So we press D, and it deletes that, and this player pref loader script says, hey, since there's no there's no player pref called text, just it's null. So there's nothing there. So, but now if we press F, it sets it equal to spam and eggs. So now if we switch over to test 1 and start this scene, then we'll see that this says spam and eggs too. Okay, so okay, it carried over from this scene to that scene to this scene, but will it carry back over? The answer is yes, it will. So we'll just put this back on our canvas, the delete all keys script, and we'll just delete again, pause, and go back to our original script. And if we start it, we'll see that it's empty. So it carries both ways. You see that it works. Now time to explain how this is working. So the first thing that I was confused about when I started with player prefs was how so many people were using them, but I was confused. As a coder, I thought, hey, if you call it all for this player pref, but it doesn't exist, wouldn't that result in an error? Well, it turns out with player prefs, it doesn't. So in the player pref loader, I could just as easily say get string non-existent. Non-existent. And it would still work. It would, even though the player pref non-existent doesn't exist, like it says in the name, it would still work. But since it's null, it just says nothing in the text. So you can see that that works. Delete all keys. A key is basically player or prefs. It basically just means it deletes all the player preferences. A key is a player preference. So basically, when you say delete all, boom, gone. Player prefs example, it just sets a player preference, and it says the name is equal to text, and since it's a string, the string is equal to spam and eggs. So that is the basic overview. That is it. It seems stupid, but it's all these videos that are real nice when you're trying to figure out why your script is not working.